Hello.
Okay, we are
We are
now
here
live.
now. Michael Komaroff, Brooklyn, New York, excited, ready to go. Jay Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. John Anile, going and grabbing his beer and probably getting distracted as all hell is John H. Pierre from Mobile, Alabama. Today, we are doing the beers from head brewmaster Sam Colagione, Milton, Delaware. If you like craft beer, or even if you've ever heard of beer in your lifetime, probably this day and age, you have heard of Dogfish Head Brewery.
Oh, I have the Indian Brown Ale.
All right, so now I'm happy I didn't get it.
What do you have, John? John is not here right now. What do you have? Yes, he is. John Anile.
You're thinking of Jean.
Exactly.
I've got a really good one. I'm so excited about this. I've never had it. It is the Wood Aged Bitches Brew.
Oh,
Wow. Sounds good.
It's 9% ABV. It is a stout, oak aged, and brewed with honey.
Excellent. What do you have, Michael Komaroff, this evening?
As I told Jay before, I have this old school, which is a barley wine brewed with dates and figs at 15%.
holy smoke.
Wow. Mine, let me hold it up here as I get some information on our beers. This is a classic beer, a classic India double IPA there. You can't really see it in this light for some dumb reason, but it is 90-minute IPA. I found a 4-pack of cans, and they were canned on the 11th of October. Boom.
Oh.
But this is the last can, so I can vouch that it is still pretty hoppy. And it is at 9% alcohol by volume.
I haven't seen the cans of that around here. We do get some Dogfish Head cans, though, but not the 90-minute.
I'm hearing a lot of people talking about not ever seeing cans, so I guess I must have found a real treat or something.
We get some cans.
This is the top. Let's see if I can show it from the thing, and it has anytime there. I think it's over anything they have over 15%. They have these tops.
Yes. We know that from me drinking the 120-minute IPA on Tyler's Friday night review.
That didn't go over well.
Whatever.
Hey, Eric,
Yes.
on the last hangout, one of the ones I was watching over the last weekend, you were saying, oh, this echo, this echo, this echo. But, you know, when I watched the playback, I really didn't hear any echo.
Strange. We get a lot of different echoes and sounds from the people across our panel, and
Yeah, I can tell
hopefully it
you-
doesn't show up.
I could tell you were getting irritated, but when I watched the playback, I said, I don't hear any echo. You know, it was like, I know you heard it live. I hear a little echo right now live, but on the playback, nah, I didn't hear.
All right. Well, last panelist today we have is John H. Pierre, Mobile, Alabama. What has he brought for the Dogfish discussion?
I have bought tonight the 60-minute IPA. Hopefully my sound is good, guys. Done a review of it. Enjoyed it the first time I had it, and I said it was $1.75 at the store, so I picked it up.
What's the date of your bottle, if you can see the date?
Where is the date located, guys?
Should be
you
towards
can
the neck of the
Tell
glass.
me.
Should be towards the
And
neck
where?
of the bottle. Should be towards the top of the bottle.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Oh, yeah, at the very top of the neck, I see.
It's
And we did have Dr. Dave, but Dr. Dave went away.
He'll be
Did he
back.
come in?
I can't see it all too well, guys. I got to put a flashlight on.
That's all right.
Mine's
It's probably
November.
fresh,
Mine's
guys.
November.
I know the
Mine's
store that
November.
I go to, everything is up to date. So,
Hi,
Sure.
Dave.
Hey, what's up, brothers?
Professor Dave, what's going on? Long time no see, my friend.
Cleveland,
Well,
Ohio's.
I'm here, man. I love all my trolls, haters, and stalkers. Yeah, I'm going to drink a 14.5% beer tonight, so cheerio, brothers.
Cleveland, Ohio's own beer tastings with Dr. Dave, everybody.
We got a platform beer here. Lovely. In local Cleveland, Ohio, it's the Hubris. It is a triple IPA at 14.5%, and it will knock your socks off, homie.
Nice.
What's the
Now
ABV,
I was
Dave?
talking
What's up?
Oh,
Hey,
What's the
sorry.
ABV?
ABV is 14%. The IBUs are 125.
Woo! Nice.
You don't love your.
I just got a little old 90-minute IPA, so I can't compete with that.
Now
But
that's
still
nothing to be reckoned. That's nothing to be reckoned with. That's a strong beer. Oh my goodness, 90 minutes. Ooh,
Yeah, as you can see I have one of the Spiegelau IPA glasses, and it definitely has some etching on
that's
it.
a very.
Definitely has etching on it, but what it does, I've noticed after drinking so many different IPAs in the glass, is that the head is going to be able to retain for the long, long time. Lots of active carbonation. Very, what would you call that? It's like an orangey amber kind of a color, yeah.
It's like a kind of tangerine color here. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. It's really radiant. It looks almost like it's glowing. It's brilliant.
Nice bright white head, like you would expect from a double IPA. And just briefly on the nose, it is very toasty malts, very sweet toasty malts. Very tangerine orangey up front, maybe some grapefruit and some, orange. There's definitely a lot of oils in this one. There's a little bit of a, oily resin complexion to it. It smells really nice.
If I may say one thing here real quick, pardon me. I've always said that's a very fine glass from Spiegelau if you don't have kids or over anxious dogs.
Exactly. Yeah, we had a buddy of ours, Jordan, from Reviewing Under Influence. He hates the glass so much he literally did a video where it was empty and he squeezed it hard enough where it broke to show his displeasure in the glass.
Well, that wouldn't be that difficult to do. It's not that thick at all.
But
and it's so expensive. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I found 2 of them used on eBay. They were nice and clean when I got them for $12 total.
I have one that Rogue sent me.
Excellent. Yeah, they did collaborate with. Well, actually, this one was collaborated with Dogfish and I believe Sierra Nevada. That might have been the Rogue one. But speaking of Louisiana beer reviews, give us the appearance and aromas of India Brown Ale.
Okay. And then I'm going to mention one thing.
Okay.
In reference to Dr. Dave, because we're talking about this off air. I don't know where. Oh, it's nothing bad. I don't know where this echo is coming from.
It could be on your end. I see it spiking up and down on your
end. Can't be, is it?
No, not your end. No, Jay's end.
All right.
Could be a lot of
way down. The head was kind of thick, but it dissipated. There's some lacing. It's dark brown, but when you hold it and let the light shine through, you might notice it's more of a reddish brown. It's not that dark. You might see that. And the aroma is very roasted. It's a lot of roasted barley, some chocolate powder, perhaps. It's just like a roasted barley, some chocolate powder. It's really pleasant. And the one thing I wanted to mention about in reference to Dr. Dave was he was saying that he kind of was turned off on Dogfish Head recently, and I don't know why, but he said it really was not his favorite company anymore. So maybe during the hangout tonight he could mention why he kind of turned against them. We've only gotten Dogfish Head in Louisiana in the last 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
So it's very new here. So I'll listen to everybody else. So what I'm encountering so far is very pleasant. And I paid $1.99 plus tax for my bottle, $2.19 after tax.
$1.99 for what beer do you have there? I'm sorry, Jay.
$1.99. It's the Dogfish Head Indian Brown Ale.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an excellent price. That's a very good price.
Yeah, I got it, my third, 7.2% alcohol.
Makes me want to move down to Louisiana so I can do some down south reviews.
Yeah, hang out in the yard. We can go buy different flowers and whatnot.
Wow, that's a very good price. Wow.
Michael Komarov has a very interesting Dogfish Head to discuss. What do you got there? And looks and aromas from your beer.
Called Old School. It's a barley wine made with dates and figs at 15%.
Woo!
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Damn.
good beer.
And this is what
That's
it looks. This is what it looks like in the glass.
That's like a finisher for the night. That's a good beer.
One and done.
You get the alcohol on the nose. I guess the color is kind of like a reddish orange color, tending toward brown, but it's you get the alcohol. You can taste the dried fruits as well, the figs and the dates. You can smell them, and you can smell the alcohol too. But the alcohol's not intense.
That's a good beer. That's a very good beer.
And we have, I got a little distracted with the work email. I'm sorry. Let's do beer. John Anele, describe your appearance and aroma of the beer you brought this evening.
All right. So the wood-aged Bitches Brew. I thought this was the original, but it's actually not. This is a 2018 release. And the difference between this one and the original is that this one is aged in oak barrels, whereas the original one was not. But other than that, it's the same beer, same recipe. It is 9% ABV, 38 IBUs, and this is a year-round release. And the aroma on this is just wow. I mean, it's just jumps right out at you. A lot of dark roasted malt. It's brewed with honey. I think I'm getting a little bit of that honey sweetness on the nose as well. But you get a lot more smoky qualities to this one in the nose. Dark roasted malts. Very, very pleasant aroma. And it's got a
Nice.
creamy, milky-looking head. It's very dark. Can't see through it. I mean, it's pretty much a black appearance to it.
What was the price on
And
it?
I am drinking it out of my laser-etched dogfish head glass, which you probably can't see.
There we go. We can see it now. What did you pay for that, Jay asks.
This is not one of their cheaper beers. I did buy a 6-pack. It was $18.99 before tax for a 6-pack of this. But
All right.
I have been looking for this for a while, so I'm glad that I sprung for it.
And we have Bart Robinson live on the chat. Well, he's not live watching us, but he was on the chat. He says, hey, guys, I was lucky to win a case each of 60-minute and 90-minute IPA at a local beef and beer, whatever that is. All right, sweet. I'm about 2 hours away from their brewery in Delaware and have been there many times. Great place. Cheers.
I've been there once in 2009.
Excellent.
We drove from the top of Delaware to the bottom of Delaware, but
It probably didn't take long to get there, right?
no. But that was about a year before that brewery opened, so we didn't.
Obviously go.
Now, they brewery opened in 1998. Am I correct?
97.
Okay.
John has the 60-minute IPA this evening. What does
Yeah.
it look like and what does it smell like? And you've been already sipping on it.
Typical
John,
as what you mentioned. It has the
6%
same
ABV?
characteristics of a goose, whatever. Voodoo Ranger. Or remember when there was just Ranger by New Belgium. 6% ABV, nothing really too overly strong about it. I think I could drink 3 of these. I'll be okay.
Woo! What's the ABV on that beer you got?
IPA. I like it.
ABV.
6, Eric.
All right, he found out. Good.
Yeah, it says in the bottle 6.
6%, perfect. I could drink 3 of these. I'm good.
And on to special guest Dr. Dave with his crazy triple IPA.
Yeah, what we have here tonight is the Platform Brewing Company. Hopefully you can see this. This is the Hubris. It's part of the small batch series from Platform Brewing Company. They're on West 44th and Lorraine Avenue here in Cleveland, Ohio. A bunch of local guys who've done very well, expanded the brewery, bought the old Lizzie Brewing Company. Don't know if you know anything about that. Do a Google search on it. Leisy, Leisy Brewing Company. Back in the day, they were a big-time brewery, and they bought the old brewery and expanded, and they've just done good things. It's just a couple of local guys who have done well. This is 14.5% alcohol by volume, and the IBUs are 125. It's extremely smooth and easy drinking, which will get you into a lot of trouble if you're out and about drinking. So what I would advise is, if you're going to go out and drink this beer, make sure you have a designated driver, or what I do these days, I don't go out and drink these days. I drink at home. Right there it is, baby. Yeah. This is the kind of beer that'll catch up on you real quick. But this beer is very smooth up front. It's got some lovely citrus and tropical fruit aromas, some passion fruit in here. Oh, it smells lovely. And then the mid palate there, you get those nice, smooth drinking malts. And then, bam, here we come with the finish. Super dry, super finished. Hops up in your face. Oh, my gosh. I just can't describe this beer. You would have to drink this beer. Now, I was lucky enough that I had this beer on tap at the brewery. And I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have had a driver that night, I definitely would have been passed out on the sidewalk. And you would have seen my picture on YouTube and said, "Isn't that Dave Coulter? Wait a minute."
Wow. Big beer.
That would have been a picture to see. Now I'm telling you about that.
Now that you wouldn't want to drink two of those, right?
No.
Well, this is my third one, Jay, but you have to understand that I've been drinking these over a 3-hour period. So I have one about every 45 to 50 minutes. You got to be careful with these things. You got to be super careful with these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, to let you know, I got a glass of water here as well.
Oh, that helps. Man.
Hey, Dave, that is I consider one of those, you're staying at home. You ain't going out for the rest of the night. You're keeping your ass at home, and you're enjoying the stuff.
You got that right, brother. You got that right. Yeah, there's no way in hell I would leave here right now unless there was a fire.
Yeah. But Jean's got a much smaller IPA, the 60-minute. Explain the flavors of that one as you finish a glass of that beer already.
Yeah, I got another glass. I got another bottle of this left, more in the refrigerator. Flavors, like I said, it's this is probably a little bit more, I guess, more potent for a 6% IPA versus other IPAs that I've had before. But definitely, I get the citrus flavors in this. Whether it be orange, a little grapefruit. Definitely get some of those hops that are usually most standard IPAs. Overall, this is good. 6%. Hey, like I said, it's perfect for me. I don't like those little session IPAs that are like 4%. They're just too weak and too frail for me. Now give me something with a little more bold kick.
Sure.
I'm sorry, John. What was the name of the beer? I didn't quite get that.
Dogfish 60-minute IPA, 6% ABV.
Oh, that's a 60-minute. Okay.
There you
Now,
go.
the 90-minute is good too. I haven't tried the 120. I know it's out there.
I did the 120 on our buddy Tyler's YouTube page on a Friday night. I just find that the 120 is just way too boozy, and every sip from the first to the last is. And when you finish the beer, it just is. For me, it's a boozy mess, so I can't recommend that beer. Not really, especially for like $11, almost a single bottle. Yeah, forget that.
What's the ABV on that?
I feel the same way.
The ABV,
especially for the price.
Yeah, the ABV ranges every year from between 15 and 20%.
We will never get that here in the state of Alabama, sadly. Now, I know where you are in Massachusetts, or maybe where Dave is in Ohio, I probably will get that. But I don't know. Maybe Florida. I could drive to Florida. Maybe I can find it there, because I know they got the DKML malt liquor that's like 14%. Nothing over that, ABV is sold here in Alabama.
Yeah. Wow. I've said many times.
Good old
South.
the Bible Belt of the state of Alabama. So.
It really doesn't matter what the alcohol or the IBUs are. You know, it all depends on how the beer is brewed. Because I've had plenty of IPA. They're like 5% and 50 IBUs, and they're ass kickers. They're ass kickers. It doesn't have to be high numbers all the time. You know, and that will come with experience. The more IPAs that you drink, the more you'll discover, and more is not always better. Less is best sometimes.
Yes.
No doubt. Yeah.
So excellent.
But the Dogfish Head, he asked me about this earlier today, but I just think, in my opinion, Fish Head is just a tad overpriced. And it's, you know, the build up on it is just a tad too much. And there's a lot of IPAs like that on the market, and I could name, you know, tons of them, but I'm not going to. But it's just that, you know, the marketing. That's what it is, gentlemen. The marketing. If you get your marketing out there, oh yeah, let's go out and get this beer. Let's go out and get this beer. And then you bring it home. It's like, oh, geez, it's not all that. Why did I spend all this money for that? You know,
Right.
What the hell? I spent $16 and it's not worth 2 cents.
But if you could get it for $1.99 a bottle, you might go for it. You might feel better about it.
Yeah,
Everybody.
and you know what, Jay? Last time you and I chatted, Jay, we were talking about Hop Slam out of you know, from Bell's, and I just don't think it's worth the money. I just don't think it's worth the money. But you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from people who love that beer. Got something that they like, and you know what I'm thinking? If you can find something in life that you really like, I'm happy for you, because life is hard enough. You know, we don't have to make it any more difficult. If you like that beer, God bless you. Drink it. But it's not for me, and I'm not going to spend my money on it. That's all.
I agree.
Quick-
I agree.
You know,
question,
that's
everybody.
just how I feel.
What IPA
Yes, it's
is worth the money that's out there right now?
That's a loaded question because there's way too many to choose from.
Right.
Every
Oh, wow.
brewery makes an IPA.
I think it's a good
There's
question.
quite a few of them out there, John. There's quite a few of them out there.
Yeah, I know that's maybe it was a silly question to ask, but I figured, you know, as Eric said, is right. You know, there's so many to choose from. You know, the G Night from Oscar is pretty good for an Imperial IPA to, you know,
The one you're drinking.
even the one I'm drinking right now is good too. So
Taste is so subjective, though. I mean, everybody has a different opinion on what they like, and so I don't know if that's really and like I said, you know, price doesn't really dictate quality. You know, it's just whatever you like. If you like it, I'm happy for you, man. But you know what? I don't necessarily want to drink it. That's all.
Right.
And I have fun with Jay. I banter back and forth with Jay, and Jay's a good guy, and he takes it all in stride, you know. But I sometimes I can't understand why people like a certain beer, because I taste it and it's like, oh my, this beer. But you know what? If somebody else likes it, God bless them. You know, it's like I said, life is short, and if you get some happiness in this life, that's the main thing. You got to get happiness, and you know what? All this right here, that'll tell you. You know, I've been around the block a little bit, right?
quick question, everybody.
Cheers to that.
We all
Cheers to
share,
that, baby.
definitely. I agree with your statement, Dave. We all agree, guys, that no matter the style of IPAs, whether it be an Imperial, you know, or a session, whatever, we all agree just that IPAs can basically pair well with any food, just like an American adjunct lager or a Pilsner.
I feel like IPAs, if they got a bigger ABV profile, if they got a bigger IBU and a hop profile, if the hops outshine the malts in the beer, I think you do have to worry about what you're going to pair with those foods. I think a lot of spicy food works well with IPAs and hoppy beers, and I think hoppy beers also work with really like fatty foods or fried foods.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Dave told me I hit a new low today by describing a beer.
I knew you was going to say that.
Good Lord.
I described the beer's appearance as Metamucil.
No, good Lord.
He did. He said this beer looked like Metamucil. I said, oh my God, you're comparing them. beer to laxative. Wait a minute.
Ugh.
what it looks But it tastes really good. All
Yeah,
right, Eric.
my question for John and Nele is no. Does your beer look like Metamucil? And if not, explain your beer.
No,
And at
definitely
least
not.
the flavors.
If my
This
beer
one,
ever looked like Metamucil, I'd have to really rethink my drinking habits.
I
That's
guess.
what hey, Jay, if you like to drink Metamucil, then go for it.
No, I never tried it. All right, John and Neely.
Table is yours. Floor is yours.
Is pretty good. On the palate. I'm not really getting a lot of the honey on the palate. I was hoping to get a little bit more honey in this because it is so darkly roasted. At 38 IBUs, although that's not very high, there's definitely a strong bitter component to this stout. And for $18.99, you can spend your money a lot better. I mean, I would rather go with the Founder's Breakfast Stout. I think it's a little bit better. The finish is semi-dry. It's just probably not as balanced as I would like it to be. It's a little too bitter. You don't get the sweetness from the honey, and I expected more for the price.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They all can't be a winner, I suppose. Although everybody's going to be different when it comes to beer. So
I mean,
your
it's
review is
probably-
perfectly legitimate for your palate.
Right. It's probably beer, but I guess I was just expecting more for $18.99 a six-pack.
Yeah.
If I pay that much money, it better be the best beer in the world, you know.
What's your thoughts on the barley wine you're drinking from Dogfish there, Michael Komarov?
You definitely, when you take your first sip, can taste the alcohol in it. I mean, it's maybe doesn't taste like 15%, but it does taste like charged barley wine. You get a lot of the dried fruits in it, the figs and the dates that they're trying to feature. You get that in the taste profile, but the alcohol coats your mouth, if you know what I mean. And I guess you probably know from the 120 minute the feeling I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
So, all these higher alcohol beers, they can hide it, but they can't totally get rid of it.
Yeah, it's true.
But there is a smoothness to it too. It does go down pretty nicely. You'd have to be careful with this.
So you're not saying that the alcohol is it doesn't burn going down?
No, it's not overpowering, but it's there, and you'd have to be careful. But it's not something which, you know, I wouldn't say it's hidden because it's really there. But with barley wine, sometimes you can't totally cover the alcohol.
Hmm.
You're right.
It's as they say, Jay, a sipper for sure. You don't want to be downing this stuff.
Right, and some of these people that go to college, they would chug those. And
No, you don't want to chug this unless you want to be rolling.
That's craziness. Hey, Eric, can I describe mine real quick?
Go right ahead.
I'll be very quick. It's like a dessert. You get roasted malt and a little char. It's almost like, you know, you get these chocolate shakes, and it's like that, and there's no alcohol whatsoever. It's smooth and it's enjoyable. And for $1.99 a bottle plus tax, $2.19 after tax, it's a winner. I mean, I can't complain about it. I like brown ales. Now you notice the echo stopped. There's your source, Eric.
Good Lord, son, stop it.
I knew it wasn't me because I never echoed.
I am glad we figured this out, but you are saying your beer is like dessert. It's like chocolate.
Yeah. See, I knew I wasn't echoing because I do Dawn Busters every morning, 4 days a week, and it doesn't do it. Okay. So it's very roasted, chocolatey, coffee-like. And I think a person that doesn't like beer, and when we talked about people that don't like beer, they're thinking of Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Lite. You know, that's their mindset. So if that's your only framework, I can understand why you probably would avoid beer, you know. But this could appeal to a person because it doesn't present any alcohol, even though it's 7.2. And it's got a lot of rich flavors. But like y'all were saying, it's dangerous because 7.2, you think, that's nothing. Yeah, right. Go drink 3 of them and get in the car and drive, and you're going to be looking at the end of a flashlight. So it's very dangerous. Drink it at home. And I don't know why. I don't know why Jean echoes. All right, but
Test for Echo, a Rush album.
We've been trying to figure that out since 2014. But I give Dogfish Head, the brown ale, 2 thumbs up. Now they have some beers they make that I'm not real thrilled with, but this one is a winner. Now some of them, like y'all were talking about, are very expensive, like that Burton Baton. It's $3.69 a bottle. That's a little pricey. It is wonderful though. But like we say, if you want to play, sometimes you gotta pay.
I guess.
If you don't want to pay, then go home. Just take your ball and go home. I mean, I'm willing to pay, but not cheap. Oh yeah, right. Oh, I'm glad I didn't. But y'all know I do a lot of regular beers, but I love to drink these wonderful craft beers. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I highly recommend it. And
Sure.
I'm not going to be on here much longer because I have a Dawn Busters tomorrow morning. I'll start when it's dark. I'm going to revisit Jim Beam and Speckled Tails. So,
All right.
all right. So that's it. Thank you for inviting me.
You are very welcome.
Are you in the?
James Bond ever used Jim Beam in his?
Yeah. Jim Beam and
I
Speckled.
just wondered if Jay was in the daylight savings time program down there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you're like an hour earlier now. You got to get up an hour earlier for the down.
What are your headphones connected to, John? It still echoes on your end.
I don't know. You still hear an echo?
Yep,
All right, hold on.
certainly. But
How about now?
hello. Yes.
Is that better?
No. This is 90-minute IPA. Screw it. This is 90-minute IPA. It's a 16-ounce can, 9%. I believe this
How about
4-pack.
now?
Hello. You're good.
Oh,
Yeah, we like that. We like that. Again, this wasn't a 4-pack that I bought. I think it was $10.99. Maybe it was $10.99. Yeah.
oh, hell no! For 90 minutes
For a 4-pack of pints. Now put it in.
You're old or what?
Put it this way.
How much was that?
I believe it was $10.99 for the 4-pack. Now put it this
Thank
way:
you.
if you're gonna go to pick your brewery in the New England states for an IPA, you're gonna spend at least $7 to $10 more on a 4-pack. So put that into perspective, at least a little bit. So
That's
anyway,
not too bad. That's not too bad. $2.75 for a pint. Yeah. That's all right.
so and I'm surprised because I live in Massachusetts, thus Massachusetts Beer Reviews, and nobody else has ever seemed to claim in the beer community, on camera at least, that they've ever seen pint cans. So that's kind of interesting to me. So, yeah.
4 pint cans for $11. Wow, that's like that's almost unbelievable.
In New England, it's cheap for IPA. But then again, we go
New England
crazy.
style IPAs, right?
Mm-hmm. But this right here, as I described in the nose, it is just about the same taste. There's a lot of orangey, citrusy, grapefruit kind of notes. There's definitely a toasty, sweet, bready malt, somewhere between white and a brown bread, kind of a mixture, if that makes any sense. Maybe like toast. Maybe like a white bread toast.
I like that description. White and brown bread. I like that.
I guess toast is the best way to describe that kind of hybrid. What else? There's definitely some resinous, oily properties in the beer. It's slightly, mildly sticky in the mouthfeel and on the rim of the glass. The glass is holding. You can kind of see it. The glass, yeah, there it is. You can see the glass is holding carbonation. And besides the fact that I swirl the glass, this Spiegelau IPA glass does, in fact, hold the head for much longer than a standard kind of a glass or even a standard kind of a craft beer glass or a tulip without such of an etching. Now, they claim when in collaborating with Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head that these ridges on the glass are supposed to help bring out the hop aromas when you take a drink out of the beer. And I haven't really A'd and beat it to other glassware, but I love this glass. It's just easy to hold.
Has it brought that flavor out?
I think it has. It definitely gives you a big enough surface area to get your nose in there. And when you drink it, your nose immediately goes into the glass. And what you want to do is you want to take a drink, and at the same time, you want to take that smell so that you get it throughout all of the senses in the facial region, I guess. But yeah, mildly sweet. I guess it's a medium to full-bodied beer. It is pretty crisp.
Sounds like a beer review.
It is pretty crisp. I did a beer review already, but here we go again. It's semi-clean. It's semi-dry. And I guess it is kind of refreshing for what it is at a 9% ABV beer. But you have to like a sweeter, what am I saying? A sweeter, more orangey, resinous kind of a beer. So if that stuff sounds like it's for you, try 90 Minute IPA. It's pretty, I mean, it's hazy, but it's not like it's got a lot of sediment floating around. So it's not really hazy like a New England style IPA. I think I gave it an 88 on my channel. I'm going to stick with an 88 out of 100. That's a high B+ from me.
Eric, what about bitterness?
This is, let's see.
Yes, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, all this bitterness is kind of towards the end within that hoppy, resinous, oily quality. It's very grapefruit and very, very almost like sweet candied orangey kind of notes.
I gave it a high score too.
I just wonder what the difference between 88, 89, 87. I'm just wondering about that.
However, for me, an 88 and an 89 are almost the same thing, in which I don't necessarily think that this is world class, but I think it's definitely along those lines. And if people want to give it a world class, an A rating, I wouldn't fault them for that. But for me, this is in general a really, really great double IPA, but not one that I would, rush out to seek on any kind of a regularity or any kind of regular basis. For me, it's almost the only thing that I dislike about it that could probably, change for the better in the beer, for me at least, is if it had more malt character to it and it had more hop character so you could taste other ingredients going on in the beer. I think a higher malt presence would help to cut some of the sweetness out of the beer a little bit. So, but I mean, regardless of that fact, this is a pretty good beer. Food and Wine says it's one of the 25 most important American craft beers ever brewed. And maybe at the time when it was introduced to the world, sure. I think right now we have way too many IPAs out there and too many craft breweries opening up to call this one of the most important beers ever brewed in the craft beer industry.
And that came out in 99 or 2000, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Well,
sounds right. It came out in, I have the website out. It came out in 2001, actually.
Okay.
I think mine, I'm going to get off of this after this because I want to, but
you have to do your Don Busters. Yeah, I know.
Right. But for this brown ale from Dogfish Head, I think I would give it an A. It's a solid A. It's a really fantastic brown ale. And you're talking about 88. Yeah, you're talking about 88 to 89 for the 60 minute. To me, that's like you took a test and you made a B+. Well, a B+ is good, but that's 11. But you're saying 11% of it is not good. And I don't think Dogfish Head 60 minute has 11% badness to it. I really don't. But we look at
90 minute.
Oh, the 90 minute. Well, even more so, because I would score that even higher. I would say 90 minute is up into the outstanding.
Yeah,
not world class. But, this whole thing about scoring, I think on my channel, we argue with people more and more about scoring than any other topic.
Right.
Jay, it's all relative according to what the person's taste is. It can vary.
I can only look at it from like a teacher's perspective because I taught at the college level.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jay. I'm glad you brought that up because what was an A in your class? What was the percentage of an A?
For Southeastern Louisiana University and Southern University at New Orleans, the lowest A you could get was a 90.
Oh, that's a pussy score. 94. 94 was an A. 94
Holy
was
crap. So you're telling me a 93 is still a B plus? Holy moly.
94 is a pussy.
We have A minus.
That was the high school.
Okay.
That was the high school grading score.
You remember those days now, Jay, because you're a former teacher. You remember that, right? I know you do.
Yes, I do, actually.
94 was an A. 93, ooh, you got a B plus, baby.
Hey, I was happy to get any of those grades, particularly in the toughest class. I'd be like, hallelujah, thank you, good Lord.
But around 19,
My father wouldn't accept anything less than a 94 because I had to do my homework over. That's why I'm so studious.
Wow.
These days.
yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah. Tear it up, do it again, boy. This is not right. Tear it up and do it again, boy.
Yeah, that's what I understand, Thomas Meadow. Well, what happened? Louisiana changed their grading scale to kind of compensate for poor performance. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. You changed it to compensate for the modern times. I understand. That's
Right.
Modern times, great beer company.
You didn't want to offend Hillary Clinton. I understand.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, I think
Dish it out, Dave. I like it.
But I think that scale really went into effect. I can't remember. It might have, you actually might be right. It might have been around 1993 or 94. So it could have been during the Clinton administration, believe it or not. But anyway, I would love to try what Michael's trying and what John Anile is trying. I'm sorry he's disappointed in it, but when you pay that kind of money, you better get a home run every time you come up to bat, right?
I guess.
And John Anile, I'm going to talk to you off air about the pomegranate. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Palm Wonderful.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I might want to hear that conversation.
We're looking at doing a hangout tomorrow with a pomegranate flavored wine, right, John? Oh,
What?
Oh, I
Hey.
like pomegranate, but I don't know if I've had a pomegranate wine.
I bought my mother a pomegranate wine when I visited her in 2014 at a vineyard. They were selling this down in Wildwood, New Jersey. The vineyard's in Mays Landing, New Jersey. To this day, she still nags me about it. Oh, son, that was so delicious. Please give me another bottle of that wine. It was so good.
Go out and get it yourself, mammy.
Wait a minute, John. You haven't visited her for that? I know you visited her since then, right?
Was that, say that again?
No, I know you have visited your mother since then, right?
Yeah, and when I went up there, she still nags me about it, and I say, Mom, I'll do what I can to get that wine for you. I'll do what I can to get that wine for you.
I'm not going to go preach to you or anything, but you should make your best to take her that wine every time you see her, man. I'm telling you.
I should. I don't know if they ship. They should ship in New Jersey. These damn laws about shipping stuff across the state lines is a bunch of bull crap.
My mom's not here anymore. I wish I could take her a bottle of wine, man. You know what my mom liked is that Pizza Hut pizza, man. I wish I could take some.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, be with your mom as much as you can and take her that wine, man.
Let's see here. Michael Komarov, do you think that your beer would go great with a Pizza Hut pizza?
No, I do not.
Not a barley one?
He said, no way.
It does not go with pizza. It would go, I think, with just regular, like a chicken dish or something. And it also, I think, would go maybe as a dessert wine, too.
Yeah.
After you finish the meal, maybe have this and sip on it for a while.
Have you finished that beer since we've been chatting?
No,
here?
I still, as you can see, I still have.
Wow.
Oh, That would be me. You know, that would be me. Yeah, that's a
It has a little bit of a tannic quality in the finish too, which
All
I've
right.
discovered as I've been sipping on it.
Is that a positive or a negative for
It's
you?
okay. It goes with the figs and the dates. It's okay. It finishes. And I'm going to rate mine now. I'm going to give it a 94.
Wow,
Oh, nice.
strong.
That's a super beer. Wow, that's a super beer.
That would be one of the better barley wines you've had on this planet Earth.
Well, I liked, it's funny. I like Bigfoot from Sierra Nevada, but I don't like it every year. Some years it's good and some years it's not.
Sure.
I've never had a bad Bigfoot, but
No, but it varies though. It's not always exactly the same.
but
Well,
I've never had every vintage. You see,
Well, speaking of Bigfoot barley wine and the barley wine that you're drinking, if anybody's interested, next week on this channel in Massachusetts time of 7:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we're going to be examining barley wines. So bring a barley wine and
Oh,
let's have fun.
I got a really good one in the fridge. It's been in there for about 8 months. Oh, I got a good one. Yeah, from Victory out of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I have to find one, or else I'll be having another one of these. I have a few more of these.
I think that beer is like 17% though, man. It's gonna knock me out.
holy smokes! Well, I'm very interested in joining. And Eric, can I plug something?
Plug away.
Okay, I'll plug 2 things then. All right.
That's what you said.
Tomorrow.
I set you up for that. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to review a pomegranate flavored wine called Mogan David Pomegranate. And anybody can join.
It's not Four Loko.
Oh, never mind.
We're not messing with no Four Loko. And then on April 2nd, Easter Monday, April 2nd at 7 o'clock Eastern time, we're reviewing Clan McGregor blended Scotch, which was introduced in 1936. If anybody wants to do that, it's very inexpensive, so you don't have to pay a lot. All right.
Well, I'd like to join both of those reviews, but I have to check with Red Rooster first and see if I'm allowed.
Oh my goodness.
My channel is not affiliated with such, so you may join if you want.
Oh,
Dr. Dave, this Friday we're going to be on Tyler's channel doing organic beers at 7:30 as well.
I got my organic pure gold from our friends at Michelob Ultra.
Ooh, your friends.
I got my pure gold too.
Organic
Just
pure
one
gold
bottle,
from where?
and that's all I got. And I'll leave it right there.
From Michelob Ultra of all things.
I have
Oh,
something
this
called
Yeah, 7:30.
Evergreen.
Wait a minute now. It's organic pure gold from and
No,
who
no,
makes
no,
it?
no. Any organic beer.
Oh, any organic beer.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I could find that. That's not.
Samuel Smith.
I have the same beer. I have the option of buying the Peak Organic beers like Michael Komarov has bought. Although when I looked at all the single bottles, or the single cans, I should say, I may need to look at some other stores. It looked like for the beer that Michael Komarov bought, it was an IPA. The bottom of the can for me said it was canned in May of 2017. An IPA on the shelf. I'm like, yeah, no way am I spending my hard-earned money on disappointment like that.
Mine is good until August 28th. So
Why is mine so old and yours is so young?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
You and I have to talk offline here because if you can get Peak Organic Imperial Pilsner, you and I have to talk.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to ask the person in my co-op because she's able to get a lot of
We have to talk
maybe-
offline about that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I'll send you a shipping label and some cash. If you can get that beer and send it, I'd love that beer.
I was
Yeah,
at
we'll talk
Rouse's.
offline about that. Yeah.
I was at Rouse's and I looked everywhere for anything organic. The only thing that I saw that was organic was, again, the Samuel Smith Organic Chocolate Stout, and then of course the beer I'm bringing, the Michelob Ultra Organic. So I was like, come on.
I'm
Rouse's
surprised.
stores, they gotta have something organic. They must have something organic
You
in
said
the
Rouse.
facility. And
You said
it was
Ralph's.
nothing but except for those two.
Are you in California? Because you said Ralph's.
Rouse's.
He's in
Rouse's
Alabama.
grocery store is a store here in the Gulf Coast region, and Jay knows about it. And the store that I go to, they have an extensive craft beer selection there. And
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the two things I found organic was that and the Samuel Smith and the Michelob Ultra Pure.
Yeah,
I can explain.
When I hear Ralph's, I'm thinking about California. And if you can't find organic in California, where would you find it? Yeah,
I can explain Rouse's very briefly, which is it's a supermarket / the place where John puts his money or throws his money away. They have his name.
Right.
They have his bank account. He just buys the beer.
That's right.
I gotta go check Rouse's. So you do usually talk about how poor of a selection you have in your general area of actually getting a lot of the craft beer. Is that where that's not in your town, is it? Or do you have to travel a little bit of a distance?
What, me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I know there are a couple other stores. I could go to Publix. I can go to Cottage Hill Package Store. I mean, they have a very good selection of craft beers there. Unfortunately, you're at the, they'll have some singles, but usually at the mercy of having to buy the 6-pack or the 12-pack of a particular beer.
Mm.
And I'm not one down to do that. And we had a place called O'Shell Growlers where they had a lot of good craft beers, and unfortunately that place just closed down. Not enough business, and they just, oh well. So so those are the places I usually tend to go to, and it's just kind of how it is, like there, how it is down here. And I'm sure if I was where Jay is in Louisiana, or where you are in Massachusetts, Eric, or where Dave is in Ohio, and even to the degree John and Neely and Georgia, and same with you, Michael, in New York, I can have everything in my taking. Get this, get that. Hey, I don't get this, y'all don't get that.
Well, it's
how it is.
It's sad that you can't get the higher ABV stuff based on your state
And that's
law.
another thing too. The state won't. In 2009, we began selling stuff in here that was over 6%. But in terms of stuff like, say, it'll probably go to maybe 12 or 13, but then that's it. And then if you want something like 14 or 15, 17%, then you have to go to another state to get it. So.
Well, John Anile was saying that he's in a dry county where he lives in Noonan, Georgia. He has to go into the next county to get beer.
Yeah, and then that's what's so amazing. Here we are, 2018. As advanced as we are, and so we've become such a long way. You still have
well,
dry counties, and
there are no dry
counties. They won't sell booze on Sundays, or won't sell booze on Saturday nights, or this time of day you can't sell it, or this time of night you can't sell it. It's just kind of how it is.
Dave, are there any dry counties in Ohio?
There are, but none where I'm close at.
Because it's funny, in the southern states like Tennessee and Alabama, there are dry counties, in Georgia. So I mean, you really, you might have to.
My county's a dry county. I can buy beer and wine. But I cannot buy liquor of any kind, and I cannot buy beer or wine before 12:30 on Sunday.
Oh my God, those laws.
But John, the good thing is you're only 10 minutes. You're only 10 minutes from the adjoining county, so it's not so bad.
That's true. But the entire state of Georgia, even if I drive one county over, I still cannot buy that Dogfish Head brew that you have. I can only buy up to 14% ABV beers.
That's crazy. That's
in the state of Georgia. And
You're
John,
absolutely right.
is the same in Alabama. Yeah. So,
Eric Colson, you're absolutely right. It is honestly, it is all about religion, which is like some point, my God, folks, get with the times. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's political.
They have the Sunday laws in New York. You can't buy beer on Sunday until 12 noon.
Yeah.
But that's
It's
only
almost
4
like-
hours a week from 8 to 12. So the other, whatever the amount of hours left, you can drink as much as you want.
Do whatever you want, right?
It's almost like we're back in prohibition times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are trying to, you know, restrict our drinking. What the hell?
And if you want to go and have a discussion about how the beer laws of Niagara Falls, Canada are, go look up Albino Rhino. He might invite you to a video and you can chat all about that if you want. Craziness there. For 3 hours, you talk about Niagara Falls.
I tell you what, Eric, Albino Rhino and I don't get along too well these days because of his good buddy, you know, Lee Russell. Yeah, hey, I didn't do a thing. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, he's already, Lee Russell's already either been on or is still on saying, looks like a lemon party. How's the ticker, Dave? Get the heart box yet or not done scamming the old ladies yet? Oh, yeah, Lee Russell. Woo!
Yeah, he thinks I'm an old fart past my time, and he says, "Oh, here's Dave Colder again. He's out here at the lake filming Wind." I said, "Yeah, okay, brother." Yeah,
you're looking for a reaction. I guess you got one. There you go.
You know what?
So,
I don't even comment on his comments.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to deal with him is just don't comment.
Yeah.
When it comes to some of this stuff and some of these trolls, it's better off just disregarding them, because if you think about it, they lose their power if you ignore them.
Yeah, don't give them validity, right?
Because if you confront them, then they feel powerful and they keep it coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. And Jay knows.
Yeah, but
Jay knows it's all in good fun. You know, it's just. But Lee, he's vindictive. Oh my God, he's so vindictive.
Didn't you have a problem with somebody who threatened you? You know, somebody. I don't know if this is the same guy, Lee. Somebody threatened you. I noticed on one of the posts and stuff.
Guy, you know, this guy, and this was like 3 years ago in Tennessee. He sent me some beer, and the beer that he sent me was all damaged, and I made a video of it. But he expected me to send him beer back, and I said, "Hey, look, man, the beer I received from you was damaged, and I made a video of it." And then he made this big brouhaha about it, and it just went. I mean, it just like it caught fire, and everybody on the internet said, "Oh well, Dr. Dave is a pedophile, and he likes to have sex with his cat, and it just caught fire. It caught fire."
It gets out of hand over stupidity, and it doesn't make any sense. That's the
thing. It's all about talking about beer.
And beer.
How did it get this far?
Yeah, you know what? It was 12 bottles of beer. I wouldn't have minded sending him 12 bottles of beer, except he made such a big deal out of it. And then he got his friends involved in it, and they have this beer group called I think it's called Bad Beer Traders, if I'm not mistaken. And it's got like 2,000 members, and they all ganged up on me. And Jesus, you know, it's some, and they even sent emails to my employer. They sent emails to my employer and said, you know, why do you employ this kind of a guy? And Jesus, I got called in, and I said, look, I don't know anything about this. I said they've made fake accounts. I don't know what to tell you. And my employer said, yeah, well, don't worry about it. You know, we got your back. And it just went on and on. And now this year, it's kind of like, this is the third, no, actually, this is the fourth year. That happened in 2014. So this is the fourth year, and now it's kind of quieted down. And nothing, you know, I haven't heard anything. But I've blocked everybody.
That's unfortunate, Dave.
Yeah, I've blocked everybody, and even today, I uploaded a video, and somebody complained about it, and YouTube has temporarily suspended services until they decide what's wrong. But
that's just
my trolls are always looking; they're always watching, always.
That's unfortunate, and over something silly and dumb, you know. you know, people can be vicious and mean spirited. I just, you know.
And I'll tell you what, John. I wouldn't mind traveling to Tennessee, where this guy lives in Rome, Tennessee. I wouldn't mind traveling down there and meeting him and shaking his hand and say, I'm terribly sorry for this misunderstanding we had. Can I take you from your family out, for dinner and a drink? I wouldn't mind doing that, but I just don't think it would work. I just think there's so much animosity with this guy. I guess he served in the Iraq War, and he's like a little off his mind. I don't know. But, even to this day, though, I wouldn't mind going down there and meeting him and shaking his hands. Hey, you know what? I'm terribly sorry. Can I take you and your wife and your family out for dinner? Because I'm that kind of a guy. It's not the money to me. It's not even the money. It's just the principle of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're dealing with beer. We're not dealing with, big topics of life and whatever. It's beer.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
We're
go.
not talking about nuclear weapons or anything,
Mm-hmm. And that's the way I intend to keep this Massachusetts Beer Review channel. If you engage in any of that nonsense, I probably am not going to ban you, but are you going to get any satisfaction that you want and get a reaction out of me? Well, this is the only reaction you're going to get. If I'm going to post a video and immediately I'm going to get thumbs down, well, I'm not going to cry about it. That's your free will to give me all the thumbs down you want.
Or make comments that are negative and very insensitive and sometimes very offensive.
If I don't want
Believe
the
me,
comments,
I've seen those comments on my channel.
if I don't want the comments, I'll delete them. I'm not going to ban you. You have the free will to do whatever you want. But again, you're not going to get the satisfaction of getting any more of a reaction out of me than you see here now.
Well, I tell you what, Eric.
Yeah.
I've always respected your channels
Thank you.
and everything you posted. You never said anything bad about me, and I never said anything bad about you. I mean, we might banter back and forth about, I don't like that beer. But it's nothing serious. It's nothing serious.
So that's the way to take all of it. Yeah. Cheers. Well, I think it's time, with the beer gone, that we say goodbye and we go to another edition of Off Air Rambling. If you want the link and you're on Facebook, you might get a link. So, yeah, 89 or 88 or 87, depending on who you ask on how to rate this beer.
John, did you give a rating of yours? Before Eric goes off, did you give a rating for your 60-minute?
I gave it a B plus. I think it's a very enjoyable, IPA. Again, 6%. There are others that are probably a little bit better, but a B plus is a fair score for that. Now, the 90-minute IPA, I give that a solid A, in my opinion.
All right.
John and Neil, what did you give yours, finally? What was the final?
Bitches Brew.
I would give it probably right around an 85 out of. It's nothing spectacular, but is it worth the price? Not.
Okay. So that's like a B. Is that like a B?
Yeah. Yeah, just right in the middle, just a solid B.
Now, Dr. Dave, would you give your beer an A?
Days.
I just,
Dave, Dr. Dave.
I just don't like this beer. I mean, it's okay to drink, but I wouldn't give it an A.
Okay.
Rating not an A. All right, well, you heard it live. Dr. Dave back in the house. Haters, go somewhere else and comment. This has been Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. Until next time, I need another beer. Cheers.
Goodbye, everybody.
Happy Easter.
After.
And Good Friday.
Yes. Happy Easter, Good Friday. If you're in John and Neil's neck of the woods, you can't buy beer at 10 a.m. Cheers.
Drink beer, maybe some wine, maybe bourbon.
Any other things we should drink before we go off air there, John?
Whatever y'all want to sample, who cares? It's in the festive season. It's all about the spirituality of beer.
Oh, God. Cheers, everybody. Woo!
Thanks for having me.